Plant Design, and be welcome to the Chemical Process Engineer Diary. In this series, I share with you my daily life as a chemical process engineer working with plant design. I answer questions and I do some clarification related to the content that I share in the internet about the life of a chemical engineer, and I get this opportunity to answer the questions that I receive in my social media like YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and etc. Because this way I can reach more people around the world. I am from Brazil, so it is very nice if you can share with me where are you from, because this way I can verify how far my message reached to you. So I have three main questions that I plan to answer during this live session. We have around 30 minutes to be together here, and just to update you from my activities as a chemical process engineer. Last week I did a master class, so it was very intensive the last week, and this week the master class is over, and now I am with the seats for my mentoring program open. I will close this on Saturday, and because of that, not only because of that, but I am very busy these days, and to contribute to that in my work currently, I needed to do from the scratch to heat material balance for CO2 upgrading technologies. In fact, I am working in a plant for removing CO2 from natural gas, and we have many ways to do that. So we are evaluate some technologies, and one technology we use water, in another technology we use solvent, and I needed to do the process simulation and the heat and material balance of all these technologies. And what is doing the heat and material balance is not a problem for us chemical engineers that works with plant design, because it is what we are supposed to do. It is one of our main tasks as a chemical process engineer, is to use the process simulation software and perform the heat material balance, verify what are the best conditions for pressure, temperature, flow, recirculation, and etc. So it is what you are supposed to do when you are a chemical process engineer working with plant design. However, it takes time. You will not build a process simulation, a new process simulation from scratch from one day to another. If you need to do a lot of other activities, if you need to verify the conditions that is available in the field, the utilities that you have available, and that is the tough part of my job, because everything is for yesterday, and it is this way in many places in the world. So this is the tough part, and we need to know how to handle that, how to handle the stress, how to handle the push-ups, and this is what is the real life of a chemical process engineer. Hello, Stefan. Hello, Jose. Hello, Hemanth. Nice to have you here in my Instagram. I am streaming in the Instagram at the left side, and I am streaming to YouTube at my right side. So let me let the YouTube chat available. So talking about the first topic, yesterday I had a meeting with one of my mentees in the In-Process Booster mentoring program. It was with Mariana. She is from Serbia, and what is interesting is that she is a experienced process engineer or chemical engineer. And during the conversation, I clarified some things about the plant design, about the content of the course. We talked a lot about pumps and how design a system for that. And during the conversation, I asked her why she decided to join the In-Process Booster Mentoring, and the answer was very, very interesting. She told me that she always wanted to work with plan design and process simulation, and he was working as a quality engineer. Although she is a chemical engineer, she wants to work with process, and there was an opportunity to her in the department of the company that an application for a person that would know how to deal with the Aspen high seas. And she applied to the position, but she was not skilled enough to get the position. So she lost this opportunity because she didn't think about preparing herself when the opportunity comes. So because of that, she was not able to work as a process engineer working with process simulation because she didn't prepare herself first. And that leads me to think who is the person that should get my mentoring program. I have it from graduates, from freshers, and senior engineers. And first, if you are a student or graduate engineer in the early stages of the graduation, the mentoring program is not for you for sure. I believe that mentoring program, in my mentoring program, you will start getting the best benefits from the last year in your graduation. If you are last year student and you want to prepare yourself for the job market, it is the best time to you join the mentoring program. Why? Because it is there that I share with you, that I teach you everything that you must know to work with plan design. You will find how to use the Aspen High Seas step by step, how to do the process simulation, how you think as a chemical process engineer, because it is very, very different what you learned in your chemical process engineer or in your chemical engineering courses. It is very, very, very different from a real job. And moreover, you will get familiar with pipe instrumentation diagram and also process data sheet for equipment. There are people that is still graduating and they join the in process booster to prepare themselves before going to job market. And for sure, it is the first time to join the mentoring program. I have also fresh engineers, and fresh engineers are people that already finished their graduation and they are looking for jobs. And in the process booster, I show to them, I share with my members what are the requirements to get a job in plan design. So this way they can prepare themselves better for the job market. So just to let you know, who join my mentoring program receive more than 30 process job description, and there you can map what are the main requirements that people needs to work with plan design. So I covered this subject in my workshop, the chemical process engineer journey, and it is what I covered with my students in the training program. And I have another kind of people that is seniors engineers that are not familiar with plan design or not familiar with process simulation, like Mariana. So they want to shift from department, they want to improve their career. And if you are a chemical process engineer and you don't know how to use the process simulation softwares, you may miss some opportunities because of that. Let me see an issue in my stream in Telegram. Just a moment. Okay, it returned. Okay, so this is okay. So this is my advice to you. Prepare yourself first, and because when the opportunity comes, you will be able to get that. If you wait for the opportunity to prepare yourself later, you will lose a lot of opportunity in your life. Okay, so we stay alert to that. I have a question here in the Instagram, so it's in Portuguese, but I will try to translate to you in English. Uh, what do you think about the industry 4.0 and in the modern chemical processing engineering? Industrial 4.0 is a subject that is getting relevant these days, but it is most, in my point of view, okay, I work with plant design, so production or operations is not my best skill. So I have seen that the industrial 4.0 is much applied to manufacturing process, because we are talking about repetitive procedures. So the what the managers do is, if I have a process that is repetitive, instead of having people to do that, I can remove the people and let the machines do that. In the process design, in the process industry, in the chemical industry, that is not so easy, because we have a lot of variables to worry about. We have pressure, we have temperature, we have flow, if we let these three conditions at constant, but if we change the composition of the chemicals, the composition of the raw material, everything may change during the process. So we have a level of automation in the chemical, petrochemical, oil and gas industry, but sometimes we need to have some kind of judgment to evaluate what must be done. And so in my point of view, it's not so easy to implement the industrial 4.0 in the process, in the facilities. Okay, eventually it will lead a time. We will get a time when the artificial intelligence may need to do that, but probably not in the next 10 years, maybe not, okay? But it is just opinions, my point of view, okay? I don't have all the answers, okay? But I share with you based on my experience. And talking about chemical process engineering plant design, that is the main subject that I cover in my content. What is important to you understand is that when you are doing plant design, you need to worry about the needs of your customer. And your customer in some level is your boss, or it is the operations if you are doing a plant design or a revamp or some kind of small project for operations, or it can be a third party. We don't like to talk with robots. When we call to a service and a robot attenders, it's not the same as if we are talking with people. So if you understand that and you improve your skills in order to build connections with people, you will be the chemical process engineer of the future. You will increase your chances of not being substituted by machines. And if you are only worried about calculation, only worried about spreadsheets, the chances to you be substituted by a machine is very, very big, because machines do calculations much faster than us human. So it's something that it's kind of obvious for me, but eventually is not so obvious for many people that are finishing their graduation. I have seen these days in LinkedIn that a guy said that the chemical process engineer should know how to do all the calculations by hand. I don't agree with that. In my point of view, what the chemical process engineer must be prepared is to solve problems, and if we need to use machines to solve a problem, use the machines, and we need to understand what kind of results we are expecting from the machines, and we need to know how to deal with people, because if you are not able to deal with people, the chances to improve your career, to be recommended, to be suggested to other positions, to other people, to other companies, will be very sorry, will be more difficult to you. Okay, so this is the first topic. Thanks a lot, Stefan, for your question. It helped me to talk about some subject that I think that's very nice. So let me see if I have any other question. I have a question here from Narayana. It is in my YouTube. How to find jobs for fresher chemical engineer? So can you make a video on resume building? I'm not so sure if I got your question about resume building. And Narayana, I am not a civil engineer. I am a chemical process engineer. So we don't design buildings. We design equipment, and we design, to be more specific, we design equipment for industrial process. We don't design equipment for laboratory. We don't design equipment for research and development. What I do is design equipment for large scale production. So, and about finding jobs for fresher, it depends on your country, but one way to find opportunities is LinkedIn for sure, and also mapping the companies that are available in your region. For freshers, what I recommend is that you target the companies from your country. Get a job abroad if you don't have the permissions to work abroad. It's very tough, because in the country that want to think about working in the US, if you don't have any kind of experience, why an American company will hire you instead of hiring something inexperienced that is already in the USA? So the first worry for a fresh engineer is get a job and get his experience. It's not about the salary. It's not about if they will work only five days per week or something like that. And to do that, you have the LinkedIn to guide you, and you have the companies from your country. You need to map that. During the workshop, I shared the 15 top IPSI companies, and also I add some companies there, and the workshop is over, and the only people that will have this material now is the students of my training program. So they receive that as a starting point to look for jobs, besides the more than 30 process job description. Okay, so very nice your question. Let me see if I have another one here. I have a question from Algeria. And what the most used software for drawings for piping instrumentation diagram? The most used for sure is the AutoCAD. There is the AutoCAD standard, that it is a 2D software, and there are also the AutoCAD Plant 3D. So you have the option to do the pipe instrumentation diagram in 3D dimensions, and this software we have a model specific for pipe instrumentation diagrams. So some symbols, some items is already available to you use for building your pipe instrumentation diagram, and of course that you can use that to do the process flow diagram also. Let me see here. I have some questions in my Instagram. Where can I found your course? Uh, Krishna, you can find my course in my website. Currently, it is with new seats open. I will finish the registration on Saturday, so you can go to jeffersoncosta.com, and once I finish this live session, I will let the link available in the Instagram. If you are in the YouTube, you can go also to my website, jeffersoncosta.com. And if someone knows my website, if you can do help me, you can type in the comments, please, the website, jeffersoncosta.com. If you already know me, if you like my content, and if you want to help Krishna to reach my training program, please, if you can do that, it will be very, very nice. Okay, so I am talking to people in YouTube and also in the Instagram. Stepan, okay. Okay, and I received some, as I told you, I received some questions in my LinkedIn, and now let me talk about the first question here. In the first question is about it is possible to work as a consultant, as a chemical process engineer. And the answer is yes, it is possible to work with a consultant, but before considering that, it is very, very important that you understand some roles and responsibility of a consultant. When we hired or when we contract a consultant for a project, what we expect is to save time. So the consultant is supposed to have a lot of experience, and he or she will be able to see something that we are missing while we are doing the project. Okay, so to consider working as a consultant, in my point of view, first you need to have experience. If you don't have experience, sell your job, sell your knowledge will be very, very difficult because you don't have too much to offer to the companies. And another thing is that as we are talking about live as a constant, you need to sell your service. And to sell your service, you need to have results, and you need to know how to do the marketing for that. And if you have experience, it's suppose you already know people that work in the industry, and it is easier to have some kind of a recommendation. And if you don't have a recommendation, why people will hire you? So that is the tough part as being a constant. It's not only if you add to your LinkedIn profile that you are constant, that doesn't matter for anyone. What matters is the result that you can share, that you can get in the companies. So this is I have a video in my YouTube channel with more than 30 minutes talking about the considerations that you must have to work as a constant. So here it's just a summary. Before thinking about being a constant, you need to know what kind of service you want to deliver, what are your expertise, do you know the companies that needs your kind of expertise, do you know, do you have people to recommend you? So this is one of the questions that must be asked before thinking about that. And that's why we most often, the chemical process engineers working with plant design, fresher especially, and junior engineers works as employees, because the companies needs full dedication for a project in many ways, in many not many ways. In many cases, we need to have full dedication because there are lots of deliverables to be developed. We need to do a lot of interface with a lot of people. And in the earlier stages of our career we have more uh, how can I say that we are less strategic and more operational. It is very very common. Okay, it's the way that it is because as you get experience, you are able to guide people that are that are not experienced. So that's why when you are senior, you have more strategic roles and position than people that is starting that career. They are more operational. So what I mean by that, uh, suppose that we need to develop a new process. The senior engineer will talk to you about the main concepts, what he or she is thinking about, and the fresher, the junior engineer, will get the process simulation and add each stream to the process simulation and run the first time the process simulation, and the senior engineer will only revise to verify if everything's okay or not, if you have some kind of suggestion, because it takes time. And the companies will use what is cheaper to develop the deliverables, because this way the project can be cheaper and we can get the contract, we can get the job, and etc. Okay, so guys, the job market is a market, and that means that it depends on demand and offer. If we have many projects, we will have more jobs available, we have higher salaries. And if the country is facing some kind of crisis, and we will have less projects, so we have a lot of people available in the markets, and the positions will be lower or will be less, and because of that the salaries decreases, and so this is the way that it happens in real life. Okay. And another question that I received in my LinkedIn is about master degree. What kind of fields I recommend for people that start in their career? And the master degree may have different meanings in different countries. Here in Brazil, master degree means that you are more you are preparing yourself to the academics, to be a teacher, to be a professor. That is the main meaning that it has here in Brazil. In other countries, master degree means it's a kind of specialization, and people is getting more skilled to be able to work in their jobs. Uh, so the master degree that you want to do or that you need to do will depends on what you are looking for your life. So if you plan to work with chemical process engineering, plant design, there are a set of skills that is more recommended. If you want to work with research and development, there are another set of skills that is recommended. If you want to work with operations, there are another set of skills that is recommended. And what the three of them has in common, in my point of view, is process safety. So I believe that the process safety is a joker in the hand, because if we are talking about plant design, we need to worry about plant safety. We need to understand what happens if the pressure increases, if the temperature decreases, which kind of accident or incident we can avoid, and how to do our process safer and cheaper. Of course, that we always want to improve the level of safety, but the companies always want to decrease the capex associated to the project. So on the other hand, if you are in operations, you need to understand what are the hazards in your plant. You need to understand what kind of maintenance, what are the importance of the pressure safety devices in your operation, and evaluate what is the impact of high level in your process, low level in your process, and based on that, process safety is also a joke in the hand, because in the process safety you learn also about the procedures to identify the hazard, how to investigate the accidents, incidents, and this is very specific for process safety. And in many companies, the chemical process engineer is the person responsible for that. In other companies, there are a specific process safety engineer. But if you want to spread out your your skills, I believe that the process safety is a good option. Okay, so think about that, and you can verify in job description in the companies the requirements. So uh, I have a question. Oh, let's see here in YouTube. Arco, one video on resume for fresher that companies demands. Arco, I did 3 videos, complete week with what you must know to work with plan design, talking about everything that you must know to work with plan design. If you miss the workshop, you will need to wait for the next one. Okay, it was more than 2 hours on explain to people what they should know to work with plan design. Science now. I'm 28 years old and a process engineer, but I work as a laboratory engineer. Can I start career in process engineering or I am late? And science, I don't believe it's late. And just to let you know, guys, I finished my graduation with 25 years old. I started here in Brazil, I start a little bit late. Here, normally we start the graduation with 18. I started my graduation with 20. And my course here, as I was studying, I was not a dedicated student. I worked in a night course. So the course, instead of having 5 years here in Brazil to do engineering, we need to expand 5 years. Okay, so we are a bachelor. Here we only have a bachelor for engineering. And after I finished my graduation, I expanded 1 year or 1 year and a half to get my first job. And I didn't work with operations. I didn't work with any kind of job related to plan design. But I get my first opportunity in plan design. And I was with 12.6 to 12.7. So what I can tell you is that if you keep improving yourself with skills that are needed for plan design or process engineering plan design, if you keep looking for jobs and applying to that, eventually your opportunity will come. Okay, of course that it's not only about sending resumes. When we apply to a plan design job, the manager don't worry about if you are a laboratory technician, because in his point of view, it doesn't have anything about plan design. So if you want to apply to plan design jobs, you need to have the requirements for plan design jobs. And if you don't know what are the plan design requirements for plan design jobs and you miss it, my workshop, you go to the internet, look for the company's websites and look for that. If you want to save time, if you want to short your journey, you can join my mentoring program in chemical process in Process Booster mentoring program, because there I short this path to you. I share with you more than 30 chemical process engineer job description. I share with you more than 15 companies website, EPC companies, and etc. I do mentoring, and there I guide you step by step, or I guide you personally to solve this kind of issue. Okay, but if you are not interested on that, no problem. You will expend more time than other people. So uh, it's possible to get a job position if you prepare yourself, if you add that to your CV, and if you don't give up. Okay, it's for sure it's something that is very very important to not give up. It's the hard part because it's related to our emotion. Every time that we do a job interview and we are not selected, it's not the best feeling that we feel when we have a job and we are fired. We don't. It is not the best day of our life. So uh, my way of teaching things is that you must improve your inner self, and I recommend to my students some kind of material related to that, how they can improve that. So I recommend some kind of videos, some kind of audios, some kind of books. So it's up to them to follow or not, but it is what I do every day. You need to improve your technical skills, and most of that you learned during your graduation. But to apply to plan design, there are some specifics that you will not get from your engineering course. And another part is related to the social skills or external skills. You need to know how to show to people that you are able to do that, and that is something that I share with my students also. Okay, guys, so we are more than 30 minutes talking with you. Thanks a lot for being up to this point with me. You can find more episodes of the Chemical Process Engineer Diary in my IGTV, in Instagram, and also in my YouTube. And if you want to have me as your mentor, your chance is this week, because on Saturday I will close all registration. And finally, to get more all social media, to get all links for my social media, you can go to my website jeffersoncosta.com, and there you will find the links for my YouTube, my Instagram, my Facebook, my LinkedIn, and etc. So this is it. I hope you like it, and I'll see you soon in the next episode. Bye bye.